You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your website, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City, this is the Ryno Report. Always right.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I've now been in 57 states. I think 1 left to go.
We are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
You are very rude.
We are going to make America great again. USA! USA! USA!
My fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
The new sheriff now.
Hello. I am the Ryno, and this is my report. We are coming to you from the RWB Network studios here in soggy New York, and live on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Well, it's that time of year again, guys. Time to make a New Year's resolution that is sure to disappear faster than the confetti in Times Square. According to a new Marist poll, this year's #1 resolution is to be a better person. I think it's pretty sad that it takes a 12,000-pound crystal ball and an arbitrary date on the calendar for people to resolve to do something they should have been doing every day all along. Last year's #1 resolution, lose weight. Lose weight. I wonder when read the Bible will be in the top 5. I'm not holding my breath. All right, let's get to today's headlines. First, as Republicans and Democrats alike begin to mull over the idea of separating from, or at least significantly reducing the amount of money contributed to the United Nations, lefty publications such as Politico are already beginning their fear-mongering campaigns, warning their readers that if President-elect Trump and his fellow Republicans get their way, China will take over the world. Also, the lamest duck in the pond, President Obama has once again used the Antiquities Act to perform a federal land grab. This time, it includes almost 2 million acres in both Nevada and Utah. And even though Barack Hussein Obama has not received the official report he requested from our nation's intelligence agencies regarding Russian hacking, the White House is set to release its set of Russian sanctions as early as today. We have all that, plus actor Charlie Sheen puts down the drugs just long enough to operate his Twitter account. Donald Trump announces yet even more jobs coming back to America from overseas. And what do you guys think the most annoying words and phrases were of 2016? We have the official list. We have a lot to get to today, but first let's kick the show off with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a lot to go over today, guys, on this rainy day here in New York. But you got to check out RynoReport.com, RynoReport.com, new articles. You can sign up for that newsletter. You can check out the How to Listen tab. Lots of cool stuff there. Interactive website. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter and Gab at Ryno, R-Y-N-O on air. It's the same handle for both, as well as Facebook. We're on Facebook. It's facebook.com/The Ryno Report. And you can always email me with your questions, concerns, comments, a story I missed, whatever you got. Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. We'll be right back.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one, they're comfortable, and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise, we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. That's 800-290-0759.
All right, guys, welcome back to this edition of the Ryno Report. Big shout-outs to everyone listening right now. Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty Feed, as well as StreamingTalkRadio.com and KLRNRadio.com. And, of course, you got to download the CRN app. All right, you go to your Google Play or your iTunes store, you get CRN app, and you can listen to us on Channel 1, 2 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, as well as our special 2-hour weekend editions, and those are on CRN 1, 2, and 6, I think, whatever channels they're on. And you got to go to RynoReport.com, like I said in the beginning, and you can find all of our old episodes there. There's 300 episodes there or something. And they're also on iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, and iHeartRadio. And this week, I'm going to get an article out. I'm going to be writing for the Western Free Press. They had contacted me and asked if I wanted to contribute to their already great lineup of writers, and I happily acquiesced, so I'll put together an article for them this week, and I'll let you guys know all about it, and I'll also post that article on the website, so you can go to either place, Western Free Press or RynoReport.com. It's a little dreary here today. It's like 33.5 degrees and raining. If I were to go about an hour north, they are getting a ton of snow, and I'm a little jealous. All the ski resorts in Vermont and upstate New York are doing very well the next few days, and that's good. That's a couple of winters here in a row they didn't do so hot. So, in fact, we had a few of them closed down just because of one or two bad seasons. That's all it takes. With the recession and how bad the economy is, all it took were just one or two seasons for a minimal snowfall for these major resorts that have been around since, as long as I can remember, to shut down, close their doors, and now they're just mountains with big trails cutting them. So hopefully wherever you are, it's nicer there than it is here. I'd prefer snow over rain every single day of the week. So I had the opportunity to see some old friends, really secondary friends, or maybe acquaintances is a better word for it. And yeah, people are back and they're, home from school or work or took the week off. And a few of us got together and we're talking about life and technology and jobs and vacations and people we know and who we've seen and who we've visited and who's doing what and who's married to who and who had babies, that type of stuff that really doesn't doesn't engage me all that much. But you nod, you smile, and you say pleasant things. And then the conversation turns to politics. And I should have seen this coming. And I try to keep my head down in these sort of situations when it's people you know and not necessarily someone you're just maybe on a radio show with, counter to them, arguing different points. You try to keep their emotions somewhere in the back of your mind when you're relaying your opinion. So, of course, the question comes up to the group, are you happy? Referring to the election. And there was a resounding no in the group, go figure, a bunch of Long Islanders. And I would say two of us said, yeah, you know what, we're real happy. In fact, thrilled, to be more honest about it. And trying to use the best tact that I could, I referenced the small business portion of Donald Trump's platform that mainly appeals to me in my particular situation. Now, it's worth noting none of these other people, except for one of them who also agreed that Donald Trump was a win, is a small business owner. Everybody else works for somebody else. So I say, of course, I'm happy going from a 35% federal tax rate on my business to a 15% tax rate. That's going to help me hire more people and money in the bank and grow the business. And they just didn't get it. They didn't get it. Now, if I really wanted to get into it, there were some social issues that came up as well. Excuse me. But I try to refrain from really articulating my standpoint in a combative nature, because I could annihilate any single one of them in the political forum, because that's what I do. Just as they could, do the same of me with their chosen profession. So I'm trying to lay low and just say, well, yeah, that's your opinion, and not all of us agree that way. In fact, somebody in the group said, you know what, it really makes me realize that we are insulated here on the coast, and that we don't really know what's going on in Middle America. Now, I don't love that term, but the fact that they acknowledged that, I thought was a step in the right direction. All right? So the conversation turns, I think, in response to me, to, well, this is a terrible thing. And it's like 9/11. And I couldn't believe I heard that come out of their mouths. And they likened it to 9/11 in the fact that they could remember where they were when they heard that Donald Trump had won the presidency. Now, I don't believe in any fashion you could liken this to 9/11. These are people, for the most part, younger than me. And they were still popping pimples when I was helping to clean up at 9/11. I will never compare anything to 9/11. It was something that for each and every one of us was very personal, and it was one of those situations where even in a room full of people you felt like you were all alone. And to liken it to that, I thought was extremely distasteful. Now, this all started to boil over into, I can't wait until 2016 is over. We've been hearing a lot of that lately. Can't wait till 2016 is over. It's the worst year. And it all starts with, well, number one, Donald Trump, duh, right? That's where it starts with. And then it gets into the celebrities. And it gets into Carrie Fisher and and Gene Wilder and Florence Henderson and all the celebrities that really have had, let's be honest, zero actual tangible impact on our lives. That people we just see on TV, we don't know, we think we know them, but we really don't. And the list goes on. Alan Thicke, I said Alan Thicke, and someone says, who's that? One of the other people says, oh, that's Robin Thicke's dad. No, that's Michael Seaver. That's who Alan Thicke is. And then, of course, I brought up John Glenn and Merle Haggard, and they brought up George Michael, which, you know what? All right. David Bowie, Prince, and then someone else brings up Fidel Castro. Like, is that really something you want to turn to and say, oh, 2016 was terrible because Fidel Castro died? About half the world was happy that happened. As we're talking, I said, you know what? I just got a notification that Debbie Reynolds died. And again, who is that? Well, Singing in the Rain, of course, right? And it happens to be Carrie Fisher's mother, and she passes away about one day after her daughter. Very strange. But Debbie Reynolds, 84 years old, I believe, in 60 movies. And so, it's celebrities and Trump that have made people wish 2016 wasn't here. But it's celebrities that are still living that I'm glad 2016 is ending. And we'll talk about that when we come back.
Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one, they're comfortable, and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise, we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. That's 800-290-0759.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. You can check out all the old episodes, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, or iHeartRadio, and you can follow me on Twitter while you're at it. You can follow me while you listen to me. It's like a 2D version of the Ryno Report, and that's at Ryno on Air. So we're still talking about this conversation. It was hours and hours long we were having last night about life and politics and the whole thing. And I'm having the conversation with lifelong Long Islanders, people who grew up in a fair amount. They were comfortable, let's put it that way. And now they're doctors, they're mental health people, they're teachers. And we're having this conversation about how bad 2016 was, and I had to disagree on every single count of that. And when it got to Debbie Reynolds, and while we were talking about it, this is just when we got notification all at the same time about her passing, people start looking on Twitter and Facebook because, conversations end when the phones come out. And one of the tweets that really I saw and it really, really ticked me off was the one from Charlie Sheen. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw this or not. His tweet is this: Dear God, Trump next please, Trump next please, Trump next please. And he says that 3 more times in reference to these celebrities who have passed away in the last year. Now he wants Donald Trump to be the next one, please. And this is one of the real reasons why I've disconnected from Hollywood. I've disconnected from movies, and you'll hear me on this show and I read off names of celebrities and I go, who is that? And that's because I don't know who they are. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they're in. I don't care what they do. I don't care what they say or think. And Charlie Sheen is someone that when I was younger, growing up, I went, wow, that guy's pretty cool. Like, maybe I want to be like him. And then you get a little bit older and you get to the age of reason and you go, well, man, maybe not. But you'd think a guy like Charlie Sheen, a guy who has AIDS, would want some good karma in his life and perhaps not wish ill upon anybody. Nah, I guess he's just too stupid to realize that. But let's, for a second, just because Charlie Sheen brought this up, let's compare Donald Trump as a person to Charlie Sheen as a person. Remember, he opened this door. Donald Trump built a $1 billion empire. That's what Donald Trump has done. Charlie Sheen, he beat up a hooker. All right, back to Donald Trump. He raised a family of successful, respectable children. Over to Charlie Sheen. He beat up another hooker. Donald Trump, he sacrificed millions of dollars to serve his country. Charlie Sheen, well, he just denied beating up hookers. See, when you're going to throw these stones, people are then going to judge you. And when Charlie Sheen came out and he said, listen, I have HIV or I have AIDS or whatever it is, the world prayed for this guy. It didn't matter if they were black, if they were white, if they were Hispanic, Asian, if they were Democrat, Republican. It didn't matter. They prayed for Charlie Sheen, for him to get well, or at least fight a courageous battle through this terrible, terrible disease. And what does he do? He wishes that Donald Trump will be the next celebrity to die. That's the Hollywood we're dealing with. And he's not the only one. There are plenty of people who have taken their shots at Donald Trump, maybe none as personal and vicious. Donald Trump is a father. He's a husband. He's a brother. He's a grandfather. He's a lot of things to a lot of people. Not to mention the person we selected as best representative of our country to serve us in the White House. And to take that angle, I thought was so classless and so distasteful that it just reaffirmed to me why I don't pay attention to these clowns. I have no need for them. You've had, Alec Baldwin. He says stupid things, but Alec Baldwin has an IQ of 83. So he's going to say stupid things anyway. Robert De Niro, same boat. Robert De Niro is no brain trust. And he says some stupid things too. Madonna, again. The thing about Madonna is she actually believes what she says. She's that narcissistic to think that she's right and she believes herself. But Charlie Sheen, classless, And it's terrible. That's like, I don't know. It's like hearing Santa Claus doesn't exist or something. Like, you don't want to hear this type of stuff. Especially for someone you grew up watching in movies and laughing at and laughing with. And you know what? Charlie Sheen, maybe you'll be next. Maybe. Alright, when we come back, I do want to talk a little bit more about these 15 Democratic presidential candidates that are waiting in the wings for 2020. And we'll talk about how nothing will change for them over the next 4 years.
Mortgage rates are at all-time lows. If you have not refinanced your current mortgage in the last few years, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year by paying too high of an APR. And the place to call is LendingTree to find out how low you can go. We can match you with lenders offering some of the lowest rates APRs available. Some APRs are lower than 3%. Imagine how much money you can save every month if your current mortgage is at 6% or higher. And all it takes is one free call to LendingTree to match you with a lender who may be able to lower your current home mortgage rate. Learn how to potentially save thousands by refinancing your current mortgage. Call LendingTree right now. NMLS 1136.
800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. That's 800-628-5067.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644. 800-915-2644.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Alright guys, welcome back to this edition of the Ryno Report. I think it's funny that the #1 resolution this year is to try to be a better person, and then Charlie Sheen wishes somebody would die. So, if you're a Charlie Sheen fan, I'm sorry. But that's just my thoughts on him, and he's someone that I used to really admire, and, well, that's not the case anymore. All right, let's move on. We talked about this the end of yesterday's show. It's The Hill put together a power list, or a power ranking, of the top 15 Democrat presidential hopefuls 4 years from now. And I guess it never really crossed my mind when we were speaking about it yesterday, and I'm listening to the show on playback, and to have number one be Elizabeth Warren, either The Hill doesn't get it, or Democrats in general don't get it. Now, Elizabeth Warren comes with her own set of issues. Put the Pocahontas stuff aside. Here is somebody that made millions of dollars by buying homes out from under people, evicting them, renovating them, and then selling them for a profit, and then tried, once she was a senator, to introduce legislation so that nobody else could do that. Once again, proving my point that most of these elitists, these globalists, these Democrats, these new liberals, the new alt-left, they don't mind if you make a little bit of money, just not as much as them. Because when you make a lot of money, you have a lot of influence, a lot of power, and that's more that they have to share, and they don't want to do that. So to me, to have Elizabeth Warren up top, I'm happy with that. As a Trump supporter, as a conservative, I'm happy because I think she's very beatable. I think this stuff with her buying out these mortgages and kicking people out of their homes, I think that turns into her email scandal. It's going to be her version of Hillary's email scandal. And to have Bernie Sanders number two, listen, Bernie Sanders never in a million years wanted to win the presidency. Well, he didn't want to win the primary. He just wanted to be the leader of a movement. And guess what? He's done a good job. He has pushed their party so far to the left that counties in eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania and southern Michigan, areas that were Democrat strongholds in the Rust Belt, that went Democrat year after year after year, went Trump by 60 and 70%. They have disassociated themselves with not only the middle of the country, but like the second ring inside the country. If you look at the coast as being the first ring, the outer ring, and then you go in a little bit and you have like, Kentucky, Ohio, and you go down through Arkansas, that second ring, now even that, they have completely disassociated themselves with everybody that doesn't live in New York, San Francisco, LA, Chicago, Miami, Boston. That's it. They don't care. And Bernie Sanders is probably one of the driving forces behind that recently. You can look at the policy of Barack Hussein over the last 8 years and say, okay, well, it was pretty evident looking back on it that was his goal, was to win elections by major cities. And again, that's a very globalist idea. There is that notion from Bilderberg that we would be a world with 13 major cities and nobody else would live anywhere. Again, we're sort of loosely connecting the two. But Bernie Sanders was the leader of this movement. He does not want to be president. And in fact, if he were president, people in his own party would not even vote for some of the garbage he would put up there. He knows he wouldn't get anywhere. In fact, it might hurt his legacy. And then you go down the list and you had Kristen Gillibrand out of New York, who, like I said, is really Hillary Clinton light. And that's what she is. She's in the same vein. She's the same ilk. She kills jobs. She hates guns. She hates anyone that doesn't come from a big city. You have Michelle Obama there. Not so sure she would do that well. I still think, I really believe, that the best candidate right now, and somebody could emerge over the course of the next 4 years. I mean, remember, Obama came really out of nowhere. He gave the keynote speech at the 2004 Democratic Convention for the catch-up king of New England, John Kerry, and that was it. After that, he blew up. No one knew who he was before that. A junior senator out of Illinois who didn't even have a job before then, all of a sudden was the next president. So someone could come out of the fray, out of the woodwork, but I still think John Hickenlooper winds up being the only person out of this group of 15 that has any chance of giving Donald Trump a run for his money. As long as everything stays the same now, right? And Hickenlooper, he's a fairly moderate governor out of Colorado. He's likable. He's a good-looking guy. He's got all the earmarks of being somebody who could be popular. His just two things will stand in his way. Number one, nobody knows who he is. And number two, the political cartoons with the last name Hickenlooper will be tough for him. But the list has Joe Biden on it and Andrew Cuomo. Listen, Andrew Cuomo would be a great choice for them if he's worried right now he's going to be indicted by the FBI. And so I think he's going to fall off this list. He had this whole Moreland Commission. He sprung up in New York to investigate corruption in New York, and when the commission, their findings led to his office, he shut the commission down. And now there are U.S. attorneys looking into why he shut it down. So I don't think he's a real viable candidate anymore. Hillary Clinton fell to 12 in the power rankings. I'm surprised she's even still there. Tim Kaine fell to 14. And 15 was Oprah Winfrey. I mean, if you thought Donald Trump didn't have any experience in politics, Oprah Winfrey would be the person with less. So she just gives stuff away for free, right? She's good at that. She's good at giving things away for free and then taxing you, right? She gives out these cars. You get a car and you get a car, but you got to pay taxes on the car. So she'd give lots of stuff away and then tax the rest of us. You just have to watch a couple episodes of that show to figure that out. All right. Politico, they are starting to get their fear-mongering going. This is an article they have in today's online edition. I'm going to read you the first paragraph. Okay? And then in the next segment, we're going to talk about it. Because it goes the exact direction you think it's going to go. Donald Trump likes attacking soft targets. And the United Nations is about as soft as they come. Over the past 2 months, UN officials have been bracing for an entirely inevitable clash with the next U.S. administration. Their only question has been exactly what would set off the showdown. Would it be climate change, or would it be torture? What are they getting at here? We'll talk about this. Plus, Obama getting ready to levy sanctions against Russia, even though we don't have the report back. Putting the cart before the horse in his midnight session here, the lame duck president. We'll be right back, guys.
Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California, the #1 Italian restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's features specialty salads, homemade pastas, chicken dishes, supreme seafood, meatballs, and our award-winning pizzas, thin or thick crust. Calling all party planners, private rooms still available for your holiday luncheon or dinner. Try our Holiday Express lunch buffet, just $12.95 per person. It includes tossed green salad, lasagna, chicken cacciatore, sausage and peppers, pasta Alfredo, homemade rolls and butter, garlic bread, and Zeppelis, our famous Italian donuts. Plan your holiday party now. Call Angelo's and Vinci's at 714-879-4022. Angelo's and Vinci's, your destination for private parties, weddings, birthday parties, and all holiday events. 20,000 square feet of food and fun, and voted best Italian restaurant in Orange County. Angelo's and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. We're going to move on here. We're going to talk about the UN. This is going to be ongoing for a while. We're not just going to January 21st be out of the UN. As much as I wish that would be the case, that's not going to happen. Congress is going to have to meet over it, and they're going to have to deliberate over it, and they're going to pull funding from here and funding from there. Now, we send about $3 billion a year to the UN. I think it's 22% of their operating budget. On top of that, we send another, $1.5 billion or whatever it is to the refugee outreaches that the UN has. And Politico is starting to fearmonger a little bit. If we get out of the UN, if Donald Trump gets his way, if these crazy Looney Tune Republicans get their way, China is going to take over the world. Well, China and Russia. What they're saying is that if we leave the UN altogether, we're going to create a similar power vacuum as to what happened in Iraq. And China and Russia will fill that vacuum. China has already stepped up a little bit in the UN recently. They don't contribute too much to humanitarian aid, but they have been sending more of the blue helmets around and, things of that nature. They have been more of an active member than they had been in the past. And Russia also has been a more active member, and that we would leave it in their hands, essentially. Well, my retort to that would be, I'm more in favor of, I don't mind the idea of these groups of nations that work together to facilitate peace and things like that. I'm okay with the idea of it. It's the practice of it so far to this point I'm not real happy with. But I'm okay with the idea of like the League of Free Nations or the League of Democracies. I believe that was something John McCain had floated in 2008, where you get together with free nations and democracies, and for the most part that alienates a lot of the Arab areas, because most of them do not give their citizens freedom that would be required to be in this League of Free Nations or League of Democracies. Something like that I'd be a little bit more in favor of, people who share our values. See, most of the nations of the 192, whatever it is, nations in the UN, about 90% of them do not support American values. They don't. Yet we contribute, we're the largest contributor of money to the UN. So we're funding nations and operations that go against our basic intrinsic values in this country. So if China were to take over the UN, or if Russia were to take over the UN, you would probably see a large disbanding of the UN, and it would whittle away, little bit by little bit. The Baltics would whittle away, some of the other states would whittle away, and it would be a shell of its former self. So I don't think you would have China and Beijing take over the world just because they now have a greater influence in a UN that does not include the United States and perhaps other large world powers that may come with us. So, Politico just fear-mongering, and the only person to really support this resolution against Israel is Dianne Feinstein. Go figure. She's the only one to really support this stuff. Everybody else has kind of said, you know what, like, this is a bad idea. There should never be a two-state resolution there. It's a free state. And unfortunately, it's in a bad area for Israel. It is. And there's not much we can do about that now. We can't move them all to Connecticut. That's not going to happen. So we have to you have to make Israel strong, and they have to be able to defend themselves, and you can't keep giving up their land, the Gaza Strip, the West Bank. You can't keep giving it up, and especially to the Palestinians. If anything, and just purely playing devil's advocate, if anything, that land, that occupied territory, does not belong to the Palestinians. If anything, it belongs to Jordan. It was their land beforehand anyway. So why are they giving it to the Palestinians? See, this is just Obama setting fires on his way out the door. There's no legacy. He's trying for the environmental legacy. He's got this. He's going to save 2 million acres of land in Utah and in Nevada. He's got this, the Bear Ears National Monument in Utah. 1.4 million acres is going to be preserved now. and then 300 acres in Gold Butte National Monument outside of Las Vegas. See, what they do is he uses the Antiquities Act to create monuments. Because to create a national park, it has to be voted on by Congress. Funds have to be appropriated for it. But under the Antiquities Act, he can just take a piece of land and say, boop, that's a monument. That's a monument. And it was to be reserved for things like old houses and statues. That's what it was meant for. But he's using it to now get land grabs. And it's worth noting that Nevada already is about 82% federal land, right? So now even more federal land there. Who knows what the Desert Turtle is up to now, what they're doing. Maybe they'll move that turtle to, like, Las Vegas, and then the land grab Las Vegas. But this is what he's doing. He's setting fires on the way out. He's like that kid that's playing baseball, and he gets struck out a few times, and he takes his ball and he leaves. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. He's a baby. He's a big baby is what he is. So he's trying now for his legacy to be an anti-Jewish world, essentially, with giving the Arabs now permission to take over part of the Jewish state, and some environmental stuff, right? No drilling, land grabs all over the place. He's gonna go down as the worst president in history. He is. And no one's gonna say that now, except for Donald Trump. But when you look back 30 years from now, and you tell your grandkids about this presidency, they're going to think you were nuts. How did you support this stuff? And you're going to say, I didn't. That's why I voted for Donald Trump. We'll be right back.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy's special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM Show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
Alright guys, welcome back to this final segment of today's show. So we're talking about Obama setting landmines. He's setting landmines everywhere. Now, if Donald Trump and the Republican Congress decide that we're going to fully pull out of the UN, which I'm not sure would happen, but we will definitely have a scale back, that will fall on Trump. And everything that happens because of that, or perceived because of that, will fall on Trump, when in fact that was Obama's fault. Had they just vetoed the resolution taking away Israel's land that has been there since 1967, we wouldn't have had to do this. See, he's setting a landmine here for Trump. There's no peaceful transition here. There's unrest in the Middle East. The Middle East is a disaster. It's a nightmare. And that's because of Obama. Again, a landmine for Donald Trump. Russian aggression. This is going to be another landmine for Donald Trump. We hear as soon as today, and they may have done it already, they're going to impose sanctions on Russia before the official report from the DNI, CIA, FBI comes out explaining what, if any, impact Russia had on our election via the hacking stuff. So sanctions against Russia. You have this unrest in the Middle East. You have the UN. You have Israel is now surrounded on all sides. An Arab invasion of Israel. These are all landmines to set Donald Trump up for failure. And that's so they can get back in power 4 years from now. See, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your business, about whether or not you can feed your children. He cares about getting his party back in power. That's what this is about, and that's what the election was against. It was against this idea of having these identity politics or these runaway ideologies. It was, let's put that stuff aside, get somebody in there who can get stuff done, and finally move forward as a country. And Obama is just going to set the place on fire before he leaves. And it's going to get worse. There's more stuff coming. You got these national parks. He wants to make it harder to sell pork. Yeah, go figure. He's got this thing where he's going to work with the USDA in the next couple of days to set these restrictions where livestock has to have a certain amount of room to lay down and like play bingo and stuff. They can't be in little pens, which of course is going to cut the production of veal and meat and pork and things like that. Although the Pork Association is saying that there's no standing with the USDA and he can't do it. But guess what? He's going to do it anyway. You're going to have to pay lawyers to fight it afterwards. He's got stoves. He wants to make stoves, ovens and stoves, 11% more efficient because of climate change. It's your stove. Your stove is ruining the climate. You guys know that? It's okay because the Department of Energy says you'll get your money back. It's only going to cost a little bit more for a high-efficiency stove that's going to save the world, and you'll get your money back in 30 years. 30-year payback on a stove? Who has a 30-year-old stove? You don't see 30-year-old stoves in historic homes. This stuff's coming, guys. It's coming in the next few days. So we're going to be aware of that. We're going to be aware of any sort of retaliation from Russia with these sanctions. And just FYI, in case you were wondering, and we're going to end on this today, Fox News blew everybody out of the water this year. Everybody. 5th most watched network in the entire lineup. And that includes the alphabets. All year. They were number 1 in prime time. They were number 1 in total day among your cable networks. Chris Wallace hit a home run as the moderator for that last debate. Bill O'Reilly, number 1 again. Megyn Kelly, she did okay. And Sean Hannity was up 44% in viewers this year. Pretty cool for Fox, so congratulations to them. Guys, hope you had a good time today. A big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad. And a big thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the hard work. Please keep it up, and please stay safe, guys. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And until tomorrow, I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.